All right, now I'm joined by Bill Shoul from Baltimore, who has quite a story to tell about a Tim Tebow 101 autograph. And just, Bill, I'll let you go into it.
Last night, we obviously being a local show, my son and I are big sports fans. Came out here last night. We would get a couple autographs from a couple local old Colts here and stuff. And my son collects cards like most kids do. And as we were walking around last night, we stopped at the table and we were inquiring about the free giveaways and things like that. And they said if you buy packs of cards, you have redemption packs. You turn a certain amount of wrappers in. So my son took his own money, which he brought some money to spend, went over, bought a box of cards, and did the redemption. And I think we got 4 redemption packs out of the case that we bought. And luckily, he was one of the few that scored a 1-of-1 Tim Tebow card.
He was the only one to score.
He was the only one. Obviously, if there's 1-of-1, it was actually really exciting because the people around him were actually just as excited probably more excited than he was, because I think they actually realized what this really meant. My son had a feeling, but didn't really realize that it was such a big deal. The people from the table and the booth were actually excited for him. To actually make it a longer story, which may not be as important to your folks, but when we get home last night, we realized we don't have the card with us. We have left it here. The whole thing, we were so excited, and people were talking to us. We left the box sitting on the table. We went home. My son's going through all his stuff, and he's like, "Dad, where's my box of cards?" I'm like, I said, "Colin, it's got to be in the bag that we took." We tore it apart. Panic starts, hitting us. You get the pit in your stomach.
Oh my gosh!
You run out to the car. You search the car. It's pouring down rain. We don't have it. So I told my son, I promised my son, which I didn't sleep last night. I mean, I got a lot of stress at work. I sleep better with stress at work than I did worry about my son, who was upset. Came here today, and luckily the people at the booth were nice enough to have actually taken it, put it aside for us, recognized me. I went over and introduced myself, and they pulled it out and gave it to us. So this card is maybe my son's lucky card, because not only being 1-of-1, it's 1-of-1 for me, because it's kept me in his good graces when I get home tonight and he sees it.
So you guys did the wrapper redemption at the Panini booth.
Yep, the Panini booth.
Left it there all night.
Yep.
Worried sick. Your son is 10. He was crying his eyes.
He was not a happy camper.
What's your son's name?
My son's Colin. I mean, he was so excited he couldn't wait to call my wife and tell him that he got this 1-of-1 card, and I wouldn't let him pull it out in the car. We might have even realized it earlier, but I didn't want to mess it up.
No, what did the guys at the Panini booth say when you walked up?
I went over and I found the gentleman that was at the booth last night that helped us, and I said, "Sir," I said, "I don't know if you remember me last night." He goes, "Yes, you left it," and like, I think I got the color back in my face when he said, "I recognize you. We have your stuff." And I was like, almost wanted to hug him.
Right.
I said, "You don't know." I said, "I couldn't sleep over this. My son was devastated," and it's more just because of the excitement of it. This is what collecting cards is about. When your son gets excited, you have things like this. There's value to it, but that's not what it means as much to my son. It's bragging rights for my son.
Right.
I said, "Don't even tell your friends. Say he's at camp today." I said, "Don't tell him because we don't get it." But now this gives him a reason to go back and talk to his friends. At school, he's a Boy Scout. They do collecting through Boy Scouts. If nothing else, I feel a lot better. I'm sure he probably isn't as upset about it as I was, because I was upset for him.
Right. What do you think his reaction will be when he knows?
I don't think he's going to. We're a religious family, but he prayed last night before he went to I think St. Anthony, who's him and my wife prayed to St. Anthony. He goes to a parochial grade school, and I think I hate to bring in something above, but paid off.
He's the saint of Tim Tebow 1-on-1 cards.
Right? I'm a big. I was never a huge Gator fan. I think I've become a big one. And my understanding is I think Tim Tebow's a very spiritual person. Maybe I don't want to read too much into it, but like I said,
it was meant to be. It was meant to be.
Tim Tebow, I've become a big fan. I tell you what, the Panini folks are awesome. They have treated us so well. I mean, they could have taken this and put it away. They could have done it something else. Somebody else could have picked it. They were so nice, and they've actually given us some additional cards just to kind of soothe the whole effect of it. So,
well, Bill, I appreciate you telling the story to us, and tell Colin congratulations.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.